Welcome to the XYZ podcast. I am millennial producer Tony. Joining me as always are our hosts, Gen X Brian.
Hello, everybody.
And Gen Z Winston.
What it do?
What did you say last time? What it do? What it does?
It does what it do.
It does
do
what it
does.
that's how it be.
Yeah. Doing good. It's a good 3-day weekend, right?
Birthday weekend.
Birthday,
so
that's
boy.
great. Yes,
Yeah.
that is me. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Turning the big 2-4.
That's right. Tomorrow Winston will be running around in his birthday suit. No?
No, I try not to. I don't want to end up on a list for my birthday. That's what it is.
Streaking. Have we talked about streaking? I know you and I did. We talked about streaking a while ago.
What a way to start.
Well, if Winston's going streaking for his birthday, the funny thing, I guess Tony will tell, and we can always edit this out if I've said this before, but that was one of the things Winston came in that cracked me up and said, well, what's the deal with streaking? Like, oh yeah, back when everybody used to run around butt naked. Yes, that's what. No, but ask me about. You're
forgetting the context of it. I was like, is it a sexual gratification thing, right? Or is it like is it a kink type of thing? It's like
it is. It is not. It's people see now everything focuses on that, but no, back in the day, it's
in case you're asking, it's a Wednesday.
That was back in the day. Yes.
Always a Wednesday.
But yeah, people, I think I remember hearing about it and seeing it on like sports games. Yeah. People would just jump in and run naked across the field, and it would just get people's attention, especially in America. I suppose it's shocking to see somebody running down the street without any clothes on. In no way has it ever been, or at least as when people go streaking, has it been a sexual thing? It was shock value only. Yeah. But I did have to clarify that I'm like, I grew up in the 80s. I mean, I was born in the 70s, and I think more streaking took place in the 70s, but occasionally in the 80s. But I thought that was hilarious that Winston came in and asked me about streaking as if I knew. I was just going to let it. Oh, yeah, that happened all the time. You couldn't go outside without seeing a naked person run past you.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, like within the last 10, 20 years, I don't think we've ever seen anyone streak.
Maybe they've gotten better at making sure we don't. I mean,
yeah.
Most live things are recorded on a slight delay. So
that's true.
Cut away from those.
Not too long ago, they had something that reminded me of streaking, where it was that dude. It was a football game, and that guy ran on the field, and he had like a smoke bomb, and it was a football game, right? And that football player like decked this dude. That was to draw attention to some animal rights issue.
Right. Yeah.
In this day and age, everybody is so on heightened alert, and for good reason. But yeah, this guy's running down on the football field with a smoke bomb in his hand. You have no idea what that is, but I just love the fact that the football player like decked this dude and like laid him out. He was like, he was some like 120-pound guy running down the field, and this big linebacker or whatever like took him out.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. That's the other fear, right? It's like, not only are you getting decked, but you're all like, you're going to end up on a list or something. I
think that's the point, though. I think the idea, because you get arrested, right? And I think that's the thing, though. By doing that, you get it. You have that one shot in the news cycle of what you're trying to promote or whatever.
Right. That's fair.
If you're willing to do that, you then wear that arrest as like a badge of honor.
Like you did it for the cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can only hashtag so many things on Twitter, as an activist,
Yeah, like we got to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Steve, take your clothes off. Now get on that field.
I don't even think Steve, he didn't do it though. See, he might have got, people. Here's the thing. A guy running down the field with a smoke bomb is a lot more threatening than somebody running out with no clothes on. If this dude ran down the sidelines with no clothes on with his business flopping in the wind, people would have been like, oh, that was hilarious. He's like, no, man, I got a smoke bomb and I got decked because animals are being hurt. Not that I'm all for animal rights and whatnot, but yeah, I'm not sure that that's the best way to go about getting the message out. Right?
Is the natural next step just the combination
of when they're butt naked and there's a message?
Smoke bombs?
Yeah, just naked smoke bombs. Is that what we're seeing next?
No
Are we
message
predicting the trend?
There we go.
If it happens, you've heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm paying attention, but yeah, I don't know who's willing to do that, because they got to have the one guy that's
maybe one of our fans will do it. Whoever's listening, maybe we just gave them an idea. We're gonna see it on the news, and it's gonna be hashtag XYZ.
Nigerian streaker runs through streets. to alert to climate change or something. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. But man, I still can't grasp the idea of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just way ahead of my time. That's why I can't.
They clearly don't care about being perceived. They're all for just getting the message out there. And let me just say this: ever since we talked about Ben Affleck on the last episode, I swear he's popped up in my field of vision like all over the place. Completely forgot Flipping the Channels. Dazed and Confused was on. Completely forgot that Ben Affleck's in Dazed and Confused. Now, okay, everybody's favorite segment. Winston, have you seen Dazed and Confused?
I have not. I don't even know what it is. Now I have to Google it. Hold on, the Google of shame. Dazed and Confused.
Well,
I'm going to join you this time, Winston. I have also not seen Dazed.
Okay.
Okay.
I would not put this in the category of classic movies that you have to see. I mean, but it's a stoner comedy. You guys have seen Dude, Where's My Car? So
yeah.
I thought maybe. It came out and it was kind of a throwback to, I think, the 70s, like it's the last day of school, a bunch of kids, kind of a school's out, summer vacation, and all the shenanigans that happened back in those times, and I believe it was the like mid to late 70s. But yes, Ben Affleck shows up in that movie. I'm like, seriously?
There's a lot. I'm Googling it now, and there's a lot of big names attached to it. Like you got Matthew McConaughey, you got Ben Affleck,
that was his breakout role.
That's really?
That's where his catchphrase.
All right.
That's where it's from?
Yes.
Oh my God. No way.
Now we tie it together.
Is that the catalyst to make Winston watch the first movie recommendation?
Yeah, what year did that come out?
1993.
93. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I could have sworn that all right phrase was totally from a Lincoln commercial. Like I could have sworn that's where it came from. No,
that was him in the commercial referencing his earlier.
Oh,
but yeah, that was the movie that sort of broke him into the public consciousness. He's fantastic in that movie.
I believe that was like an ad lib line. I think that he made it up on the spot.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was in the script.
Oh wow.
It's a good movie. I would recommend, but we'll put that now. I don't know that Tony needs a watch list, but if you want to watch a coming of age teen stoner comedy, that's it.
It's a classic, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll throw it out on the list. We'll throw it out.
Fun fact about that, or just like a funny story about that. Like I went to see it. I graduated from high school in 1992, so then went to college. So in 93, I came home for the summer or whatever, and went to go see that movie with my younger brother, who is 4.5 years younger than I am. And we went to the box office, and they fully were like, "I'm sorry, he can't come in. It's rated R." I was like, why? It was like turned away for a rated R movie. I mean, I guess I didn't qualify as a guardian or parent or whatever for the rating system. So yeah.
Well, I think you have to be 21 to be able to take somebody underage with you.
Oh, okay. Movies, well, there you go. I was not old enough.
Yeah.
And this is when you went to the box office, right? You couldn't buy them online. You
told
actually
me you had to buy tickets at the theater.
You had to. That was the only way you could.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You didn't do the classic thing too of going, all right, well, then we're going to get 2 tickets for this other movie.
I don't even, it's funny. I don't even remember what we did. Yeah. I don't even know what else would have been at the theater in 1993. The first movie I bought as an adult where I could order the tickets online and you could pick your seat, which blew my mind at the time. The movie Argo, starring Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
That was the first time, and I know that was well after it was.
Wait, that was like 2012,
right? That was the first time I bought tickets online for a movie and was able to pick my seat.
Oh, geez.
Well, keep in mind, once we had kids, my movie going days were few and far between.
That's fair.
I got a great track record with most Pixar and Disney movies. I've seen a lot of those.
You can go to the theater because you were a big fan of Blockbuster. I mean, no, sorry, Netflix DVD, where they would ship it to your house.
We were probably still doing that in 2012.
Yeah.
By then, again, we didn't have Citizen Kane sitting on there. It was like, okay, here's Monsters Inc. or whatever. But I ended up buying a lot of those movies though, so we didn't have to rent them.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely had whatever the first Tinkerbell movie was. That probably sat there for a minute. Not sat there. Not sat there.
Tinkerbell movie.
There was a whole line of them, man. My sister was into it, trust me. 3D animated Tinkerbell. Yep.
Wow, that's actually hilarious because I always thought Tinkerbell only show up in Peter Pan and like that's it. I was like, it's always made me confused. I'm like, wow, she got a lot of fans for no reason.
There's
She
a
did.
whole there's a whole lore, man. She's got a whole crew and Fairy Hollow, and yeah, it's
Oh man,
no,
Yeah.
I know too much.
Well, yes, Tony, a resident Disney fan, but then yeah, also I worked there. Having worked in the park, there were a lot of people that were often asking where they could get Tinkerbell merchandise.
Hmm.
And so I think they finally listened and were like, we're sitting on some untapped revenue here.
Yeah.
You know, people will buy Tinkerbell's merch. So that not they made a whole movie series.
So here's my question: when you worked at the park, and maybe Tony, you can even answer this.
Mhm.
Was Tinkerbell walking around the park, or like one of those characters when you can actually do a meet and greet with, or is she only?
Yes.
Oh, really? Because I swear she only fly away from the castle.
Well, yeah, when I worked there, that was it.
Yeah.
She would only fly away from the castle. That was it.
Okay.
When I worked there, but that's
There
early
is
90s.
not currently,
Right.
but before COVID,
Mhm.
at the
She's very
Main-
susceptible being so
Yeah.
small.
right on Main Street in Magic Kingdom. As soon as you go in on the right, there is a meet and greet area where you can meet Mickey, and you could meet Tinkerbell. I don't know that meet and greet has ever returned since the pandemic. I know the sign's still in there, but I have suspicions as to why not.
What was your suspicion?
Was she harassed? Was Tinkerbell
Well,
harassed?
probably why she wasn't there originally. Probably because of costume design.
Oh, yeah.
Would be my guess. I know that I've seen, and I want to say it's probably one of the overseas parks, that they are utilizing some really neat storytelling to bring that character back. So you're taken into a room that looks like you're in a forest.
Oh.
There's a stump or whatever in there, and it's got this lantern.
Oh, I
And
saw
there's-
that.
There's
Yeah.
an actress backstage as Tinkerbell that is somehow shown in the lantern Tinkerbell size.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So it
Yeah.
makes a little more sense to meet Tinkerbell
In
as a
Tinkerbell
tiny
size,
little fairy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat
It's
a
super
neat video
cool.
if you find it online. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was during the convention where they showed off like all the new technology stuff that the parks are developing.
No,
And I
right.
think it was at that same one that they show off like a real working lightsaber. I don't know if you
That'd
saw
have been
that.
a couple years ago at D23.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
is that the same convention or no?
It might have been the same D23. I don't think it was
Okay.
the most recent. The most recent
Yeah.
ones where they showed off the roam around Judy Hopps robot.
Oh,
Did any of
wow.
you see that?
I did not
Like
see
they
that.
take it out of the box and it rollerblades around and falls down and picks itself back up and things. Like it was interesting.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
I don't know if
Yeah.
we'll ever actually see something like that in the park because they throw a lot
somebody's
of ideas
snatching
out.
it.
Somebody will mess with it. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Like stuff like that. There's an attendant nearby, just
Mm,
like there are with any of the characters or anything like that. So
that
there's
would make sense.
no
Well,
one would
thanks
be
for
able to
tuning
walk
in
off.
to the D23 podcast. This is where we discuss all things Disney happening
know.
at the parks and,
Yeah.
with the
That was a wild detour from streaking to Disney stuff. All right.
Well,
Oh,
we can connect that. Did you know that in the 70s in Disneyland, the park was sort of taken over by hippies for a day?
Oh, really?
No.
Were they streaking in the parks?
No, they just smelled really bad.
They were smoking weed with Disney, with Mickey.
All right. It looks like 1968. Members of the Youth International Party, or Yippies,
Yippies.
Mm.
yeah, they had a protest, and their mission was to completely take over Disneyland. So like,
What were they like? Disney was only open for how long at 68?
Well, it opened 55.
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's
been a
wow,
while.
that's
So it's
wow.
a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they are celebrating 100 years. So that I could have done that math.
Well, people were confused by this too, because people were like, didn't they just celebrate 100 years? So a few years ago, they had a 100th celebration, but that was for, I want to say it was Walt's birthday.
Ah,
And the
He would have
100th
been 100.
anniversary that's going on now is the start of Walt Disney Studios. So
Oh.
like the company's 100th is going on now.
okay.
They're gonna have 3 or 4 more
Yeah.
100-year celebration.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
exactly.
whatever
near
they
future.
can milk out of it.
Yeah.
How many can we have? Yeah.
No, that's hilarious. That's actually so funny because like when I went to the park like I think a year ago, it was like I saw the 50th anniversary or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, 50th anniversary. And then I came back and they're like, yeah, it's 100 100 year, and I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I'm not 50 years old. What's going on here?
Um,
They tried to take over on the 25th anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima, and they were doing it at Disneyland specifically because they were upset with one of the sponsors at the park, Bank of America.
man, those yippers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They
So-
they weren't happy.
It's like people yelling at the person working the drive-through at the Chick-fil-A.
No, seriously.
Like, for their things. That's it's
Well, to be
Mr.
fair, have you ever seen anyone yelling at any person that work at a Chick-fil-A? I feel like they're just so nice. I don't think you could ever yell at a Chick-fil-A employee.
Well, there was that one guy here, I always find this sort of sweet justice of when people do stupid stuff. And there was this guy, and I guess it was Chick-fil-A was found to have donated to causes that were not same-sex marriage friendly, and so some dude was very upset about this, and so he decided to berate a Chick-fil-A drive-through employee, right? This poor girl, she's just like working after school, right? She doesn't care about the company's politics, man. She's earning some money, right? She's working at Chick-fil-A. And so this dude drives through the drive-thru, like berates this poor girl, and she's as pleasant as can be as you're getting yelled at in the face. And she's just, and so, she hands him his ice cream or whatever. And,
Wait, hold on. Wait, he yelled at her and then ordered an ice cream?
Oh, yeah. Well, no. He ordered ice cream at the box and then waited till he got the person in his face to yell at her. So he was already there, and this poor girl's like, what the heck, man? Here, take your ice cream cone. And so this dude thought he was all puffed up chest, like, I stuck it to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And like the dude was like some high up executive in a company, and the company's like, dude, you're fired. You can't treat people like that.
Shoot.
Yeah. So he got fired, and it was
Dang.
just funny because he put it all online and felt like he was sticking it to the, making his voice heard. But it's like, you can do that, but you can't do that by just berating, like,
a
innocent
random
people.
employee.
Yeah.
But I always find it funny when people would be like, "Oh, I'm boycotting this company, but I'm gonna give them my money first." It's like you see it all the time with like beer companies. Though, like recently, it's like the Bud Light one.
Oh
like,
gosh,
I bought 4 cases of Bud Light and I'm gonna dump it out. It's like, dude, you still gave them money for 4 cases of Bud Light.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kid Rock did not dump it out. He filled it full of machine gun bullets or whatever. He shot up his beer supply.
That's hilarious.
That's a little strong, but
okay. I saw an ad recently. It was Ford, like the car company, and they did a commercial where at one point they have a truck. It was a regular F-150 and there's another F-150, and the second one had a pride flag design on it or whatever. And it was just that they didn't say anything. They just put it there. It's just a regular truck commercial, just happened to have a pride flag painting on it. And then the video was uploaded to Twitter, and like the first tweet I saw retweeting it was like, in the next 24 hours, you're gonna see a redneck just fly his truck right off of a cliff to prove to corporate that they don't need them anymore.
Screw you, Ford. There's
Exactly.
my $70,000 truck. I just rolled off the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was funny, but
everybody just needs to calm down. Calm down.
Right.
Well, that brings me to a question here, then, Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a beige flag?
Ah.
You brought the term up. I think
Yeah.
we need to discuss it. You brought
So
it
I
up
was-
off camera, so
Yeah.
Okay,
so
no, that's good because let me, before you jump into that, not to cut you off, because I do
Mhm.
want to hear what Winston says, but I find our conversations hilarious because I will see something online, read something online, and Winston's already heard it like 2 days previous. Like, I feel like I might as well be getting like the Sunday paper and reading the stories. And Winston's like, yeah, man, I heard about that 2 weeks ago. Like, what's wrong with you?
the next service is going to be Brian just called me up and like, all right, tell me the news today. And I just start reading things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's ways I can get these headlines, but yeah, I always feel like I'm like a day or two delayed behind. And I feel like I'm fairly in touch with what's going on, but I'm always a day behind Winston. So with that being said, I do recall seeing something that said beige flag, but in my sort of, half scrolling and whatever, I did not read the article because I guess it didn't have enough clickbait for me to figure out. I'm like, I don't have any, I have no use for flags. So please explain it to me.
I will enlighten you on what the beige flag is. So the beige flag is the official new term that the kids nowadays are using it. It again, I'm 90% sure it came from TikTok.
Of course.
Right.
Everything
And it,
yeah, Reddit and TikTok. That's all. We're
Exactly.
being fed by the machine.
yeah. And so beige flag is a term that is used to describe a characteristic of a person that sits somewhere between red and green flag. So obviously you have the green flag, which is like, oh, these are things that you want in a relationship from your significant other. This is the type of stuff you want. Then red flags is like, oh, you don't want that at all, type of thing. So green flag is like, oh, he likes animals. Red flag would be
He beats animals.
Yeah, he beats animal. That's a super red flag. But beige flag, it's like it's a weird middle ground where it'll be like it's good, but it's weird. So it's like it's not totally bad.
But
So-
wouldn't the middle ground be like, I have no opinion?
No,
Okay.
that's the thing.
I'm gonna help you here, Winston.
Please, yeah, because I
It's-
feel like this day and age, you're not allowed to not have an opinion on something.
So
You have
it's
to have an
not-
opinion.
It's not having an opinion. It's having an opinion that just makes you boring. Green flags are good. Red flags are bad. Beige flags. I'm looking at examples here. Someone who has an opinion about pineapple on pizza. Somebody who just mentions spreadsheets out of the blue in any way. And or saying you need someone who can handle your banter. These are examples of beige
Yeah.
flags, apparently.
Okay, so
Okay,
I have no
I have
problem-
one. I have an example I could bring up for you, Brian.
Please do, because all of the ones Tony just listed made me question the person who's announcing these in the first place. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead, please.
so I'll read you a TikTok. So this girl posted, this is 4 days ago. She said, my boyfriend's beige flag is that we could have a cute/romantic moment, and then he does something stupid or goofy, and he will apologize by saying some shit like, my bad player and my fault gang, while dapping me up like I'm one of his homies.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right.
So
That
you
makes a little bit more sense.
do you kind of get like what it's saying then?
But yeah, but that sounds like what you know what that sounds like? These are the little things that annoy me. You know, like that's
But that's the thing. They're not annoyed by it. They're just like, it's good. It's weird, but I don't hate it type of thing. Like that's what it is. It doesn't annoy them. It's like they're comfortable with it, but it's just like it's weird and it's off-putting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of I don't know if these are like the original TikToker who started the trend, but
See, that's what it is. I'm telling you, it's some dork in their bedroom who's like, I'm gonna come up with something. Yeah, after we
But-
get Winston on Raya, the dating app, and we make him a fake celebrity, I would like to go after. We're going to come up with the dumbest trend, but we're not going to say we're coming up. We're going to try and make it an actual trend that takes over TikTok.
That make no
and-
sense.
Yeah, that
I'm-
makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these videos and I'm going, I think I get it though. I'm looking at other examples from this person. Someone who uses puppies as their personality.
That's a beige flag.
Or referencing any reference to an extremely mainstream sitcom.
And
I'm just
like
going,
The
okay,
Office. Yeah.
That's exactly the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's the one
But
that
people
springs to
like
mind.
The Office. A lot of people
But-
have seen it. It's a funny
But that's
show.
the thing.
It's not bad, but it is sort of obnoxious. I go beige
They-
flag. I
exactly.
understand that one right there set
Yeah.
it off for me. And I go,
But
okay, yep.
everybody was trapped in their house for a year. Netflix had The Office on, so everybody watched it.
it's still
I'll
it's a
tell
good
ya.
show, but it is very obnoxious if everyone keep quoting it.
Okay.
It was like
yeah.
it's like Family Guy.
okay.
Family Guy was good in the first couple seasons, and then it just became referential, and it was just like this. No, but this isn't good anymore.
Okay, well, I do recall a point when South Park, everybody was imitating Cartman. It was
Yep.
so irritating. So would that be a beige flag?
I suppose so. Maybe I don't know, because the beige flag that I see on TikTok and the beige flag that's being described by Tony are like two different things. Like the one that's on TikTok are very specific. It's like
This is
It's-
a person who has grievances with their significant other. And
exactly.
he
I'll
does
read
this crap. and
I'll
this
read you
crap,
another one. I'll read you
and this
another one.
motherfucker likes pineapple on pizza. What is that?
Okay, here's
I
one.
think that's not the liking it. It doesn't matter whether you like it. It's
Yeah.
just having the opinion.
I don't know.
You can like it, but you don't have to bring it up.
Yeah.
But
That's the point here, I
if
think.
you and I are ordering pizza, and I'm like, "Yo, the Hawaiians got that so right, bro. We need pineapple on pizza. You're like, no, absolutely not. That's a difference of opinion. I don't know. That's a beige flag.
I'm seeing more. Winston, go ahead, because the ones I'm seeing are great. I want to hear some of the ones you're finding.
Okay, so this is another one. This one said, my girlfriend beige flag is that she is never at 100% health. It's always, I've got a headache, or my stomach hurts, or my left pinky toe is aching. Never is there not a health issue of some sort.
That's not a beige flag. That's a hypochondriac. That's
I got a couple here for you.
All
My
right, let me-
girlfriend's beige flag is that she announces everything. Her stomach just growled. I have to know. Dinner's not ready yet. She's telling me. She has to pee. It's the most important thing in the world.
Well, I mean,
That's pretty funny.
Depending where you are, it might be.
Another one, my boyfriend's beige flag is sometimes he'll meow. And if I do not meow back, he'll get upset at me until I meow at him.
That's
I've
a
seen that
red
one.
flag. That's a red flag.
But it's a beige flag to her because
Yeah.
she don't think it's that bad. It's like
Unless they're both furries.
it could be. Okay, here's one. This is almost like one of those, if you know it type of thing. So this said, my husband beige flag is that he swear I'm going to die in childbirth just because he had a dream about it. Ever since then, he had been talking to our political leader more. It's kind of odd. He's also saying that he's going to save me, whatever that means. Tony likes it already.
No, again, that's
This
a
is-
red flag.
No,
No,
this
right.
is Anakin Skywalker.
Oh.
That was Padme saying
Oh, it's so good.
it.
I'm gonna put a little more heft in Force dreams than regular dreams. Then, my goodness.
Die in childbirth, and ever since then he's been talking to our political leader more.
Okay.
That's so funny to me. Oh man, I opened the TikTok. The very first comment goes, "Does he hate sand by any chance?"
Oh, okay. So again, somebody just made this up because some of those
Yes.
sound
yeah.
like legit red flags. And
it's
annoyances.
a red flag to an older person.
Everything's
very-
made up, Brian.
If
Yeah,
somebody
true.
doesn't, if I meow at somebody, first of all, that's a red flag on me. And then if I'm expecting that person to meow back, that's come on. Man. I mean,
I just finished another one of my shows and I heard the best take on this. This guy's going, yeah, looking at pictures from a girl I broke up with recently, and her friends, like, she posted some pictures. She was on the beach, like, having a good time this weekend, and her friends like, oh yeah, it looks like you're doing good. I remember a few weeks ago when we used to just talk about your loser boyfriend. And he's just like, you dated a loser boyfriend. I was punching up. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm fine. Like, you dated the loser.
That's so funny. I always find that hilarious when girls talk trash about their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, even
on social
like-
media.
Anywhere. It's just like, why are you talking trash? Because you were with that person for a long
Yep.
time. And like the biggest one is always like, I always see this one. It's like, yeah, I don't even know why I dated him. He had such a small yada yada. It's like, you let him hit though. It's just like,
This happens. People are posting this sort of thing.
yeah.
Oh my
There's no
gosh.
privacy with my generation, Brian.
Oh man! Again, every time we go down this road about the ins and outs of social media, man,
Yeah.
I guess through Facebook, people would start oversharing and stuff on Facebook. And that was viewed as cringy, or like people would
Yeah.
look at it and be like, why are they doing that? But it seems to have continued.
Yeah, and it's funny. We've had this conversation before. Like, we talked about social media etiquette being a thing. It's totally a thing, but there are people who think it's a free space and you could just say whatever it is that comes to your mind.
Who do you think, and not you, but who do people think they're broadcasting to? I remember a time, okay, let's go back, I don't know, 5-6 years, where people assumed that if they posted it on Facebook, you would see it. I had a child, you didn't see it on Facebook? Well, why do you not know? I put it on Facebook, kind of like you should know that.
Yeah.
Is that still people post things and assume other people are going to see it? That's where people are going to find out about this information?
I see it less like that, but more like they're just speaking into the void, and it's like whoever hears it, whoever don't type of thing. It's like there's not much of an emphasis on whether or not, oh hey, have you seen my post type of thing. It's like I put it out there. If you saw it, you saw it. If you don't, you don't. people could just say anything on the internet. And it's like, if I saw it, I would, if I'm hanging out with a friend, I'm like, hey man, I saw you posted that thing on Twitter the other day. Why'd you say that? And they'll like, oh, you saw that, and they'll like, elaborate on it. But if they, if I didn't see it, they're not gonna bother bringing it up because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you need to know this.
I guess I never knew who I never posted anything much. And Tony, we were talking about how Facebook used to have your status, right? And it was like, Tony is eating a panini or whatever. Like you would put that for whatever reason, and then people are like, I don't care if you're,
Well, that's almost like speaking into the void, right? It's like, you're like, oh, hey, I'm eating a panini. If you saw it, you saw it. If you don't, you don't. It's like,
who cares? Why do I need to tell any of you that? Unless it was amazing.
Hold on. Before we get too far down this hole, you realize that's what we're doing now. I'm just sitting here listening, going, do we need a mirror? Because I don't know who we're talking to either, but we're just shouting into the void here too. And you two are going off, and I'm going,
That is true.
I'm okay with I'm okay with shouting into the void. Brian isn't okay with it. That's why.
No, I guess because I'm talking to you, right? I'm talking to you guys, and if somebody hears it and gets a kick out of it, awesome. I love that.
But why are we recording it, Brian? We could just have a regular conversation.
That's it.
But our friends in Nigeria don't care that I had a panini for lunch yesterday.
You don't know that. You haven't told them that. If you don't post it, how will they know? Brian, if you build it, they will come. If you post it, they will read it.
Oh, man. That is a good juxtaposition.
That's so funny.
I guess what we've learned, if I'm saying it by myself, it doesn't matter. But if I'm talking to two friends, it does. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, wow.
That's so funny. That's so funny. It's when Ryan was just, when you and Tony, when you and Brian were just talking about, just totally remind me of a tweet where it was like, yeah, I have a new idea, guys. Why don't we just get some guys together? We sit down at like a coffee shop or a picnic. We talked about stuff like that. It's like a podcast, but we don't bring any mics. And it's like, it's the first thing when somebody retweeted, it goes, Tech Bro just discover a conversation.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
I guess that's it though. I mean, I ultimately, if you post something, you're hoping someone sees it and says, I'm glad you said that. But then, I guess my motivation for posting it is that someone then responds. So I'm talking to you guys and you're responding. So I'm good, right? Like we're talking, we're laughing. If
you're hoping to get interaction and somebody to respond, then you post it. But if you, Brian, are going, I don't care if somebody knows I'm eating a sandwich, then you don't post it. That's all.
See, but no, that's the thing. But that's the thing, Tony. I post a sandwich even if I don't care that people know that I'm eating a sandwich. To me, it's a me thing. It's like, I'm eating a sandwich. It looks good. I'm going to post a sandwich.
Is it in hopes that you'll go back later and go, oh, that was the day I had that sandwich? Or is it just something to do?
It's just something to do. It's wired into my brain. It's like, oh, this is post-worthy. Let's post it. It doesn't matter if somebody talked to you about it. Just post it. It's so weird. Like, I don't know.
That is interesting. Yes.
Yeah, my generation is on the internet for way too much, and that it almost like it calibrates our brain to be like, hey, let's just share things. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's bad or good, let's just share things. But then that's when the etiquette come in. It's like, you got to pick what you can post and what you don't post. There's digital footprint for a reason, right? And that's where I find myself a lot of the time. I'm like, that's a really funny meme. I really want to repost it onto my story, but I'm not going to because that's super cancel worthy, or like that's, it's like stuff like that. But then there's other thing where it's like, do I go ahead and post this status or this tweet regardless of how corny it sounds? I'm self-aware enough to where if I'm like reading it out loud, and I've been in a position where I would type out a whole tweet, think it's hilarious, reread it, and it was like, that's so cringe, and I would just delete the tweet and move on with my day. But there are people who would write a status for Facebook or post on Twitter. And I think I told you the story before. Like that one girl would post on like, her Facebook post or whatever. And I'm just like, she writes like a millennial, and it's just like,
what does that mean?
A lot of time you have like these millennial who likes to overshare on the internet.
Right.
And so I always like refer to people who overshare, like people my age that overshare on the internet, that they post like a millennial. I'm like, you don't need to tell people that, or like what you're saying is like super cringy because it's like you're a grown woman saying all of these things like you're a 16-year-old girl in like 2011.
So
something.
so the rash got worse. It spread. It's like that's oversharing, huh?
Yeah, it's like it really burns when I pee. You know.
I wonder on a more serious note if that has to do again with the whole topic of this podcast of the differences in generational upbringing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's strange even to me for you to go, we just post it because you just post it.
Yeah, you just post it
because.
just to
And
post.
Brian's going, I don't know why you're posting any of it.
Yeah.
And you're saying there's people in my generation that maybe because of the difference of going from no internet to always internet,
Mhm.
and the transition generation, that's why that is. And it's you can point it out, whereas your generation's going, well, we've always had this ability, we've just grown up and learned the etiquette and what to do and what not to do, and my generation has gone, there's no filter, just spew all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because so that's the thing, right, Brian? Like this is great that we have all three generations here. Like Brian generation is like, why do you have to share all these things? And Tony, like he said, because they were the first one to get really adopted to the internet and stuff, like constant access of it. They're like, oh my god, this is great. Like, let's just spill as much things as there is. And then people my age are like seeing that these, millennials are posting all of these things, and we're like, all right, guys, let's regroup here. There are certain things that we should not be posting. There's certain things we should not be saying. And that's why it comes down to like people being canceled nowadays, because the internet in 2011 and the internet in 2023 are two different places.
There was people that would go back and research someone's tweets and be like, you said something 10 years ago that is now viewed as offensive today.
Exactly. And that's this idea of like people my age growing up and was like, yo guys, that was kind of messed up. Why the hell did you tweet about that? Yeah. And that was like that this conversation we're having, that was the entire basis of why James Gunn were fired from Marvel. He had a questionable tweet, right? Yeah. But it's like, it's 2011. It's a totally different place than it is now. So for you to go back and pull all of these things out of context.
Well, and also to assume that there's been no personal growth in anybody in the past decade is absurd.
It's weird to go back and sort of like retroactively cancel somebody.
Yeah. And it's so funny. Like you can even see it in like the meme culture and how things have like really switched up. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember 2011, the molester sloth or something like that. Have you ever heard of that? It's a picture. It's a picture of a sloth, and there's top text, bottom text, and it's always some really questionable saying that he's saying in it. And it's like, that thing was huge back in the day. It was a big format. Everybody was using it.
I missed that one.
Is it the one where it's just the sloth whispering in somebody's ear?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah. And so like nowadays, like you can't make a molester sloth meme anymore. What the hell is this?
That was the meme. It was molester sloth.
I'm 90% sure it's what it was called.
Quick sidebar. This came up, and I think I know the answer, but do we now refer to anything that is a picture, GIF, whatever we want to call it? We can't even get into that. That's
what it is.
Again, now we're back to a visual podcast where we're pulling up
always
pictures of molester sloth.
My couch pull out, but I don't. Like, you see what I'm talking about? That's terrible.
Yeah. But is a meme anything that any still picture, any whatever that is a joke, an image or whatever that conveys something a little bit, I don't even know, like that? Not, you threw me with molester sloth pictures.
There's a lot of, so meme is almost like a genre.
Right. It's anything that's like, I send you as a joke. Yeah.
So it's, the official definition is that by Oxford, a meme is an image, video, or piece of text, typically humorous in nature, that is copied and spread rapidly by the internet, often with slight variations. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's anything is a meme now.
That's how I would classify it. It's something that is a joke in a format that somebody.
So would a Rickroll?
Somebody can.
Yes. Rickroll is a meme. Yeah.
Okay.
Because people can take it and put it into different contexts.
Here's the real question: what separate a meme and a trend? Would beige flag consider a meme or a trend?
I don't know. That's like to me, that's like a buzzword, just like dad bod. Like I'm convinced the whole proliferation of dad bod was like one blogger
Yeah.
who put it up on Twitter. People thought it was funny. And so then suddenly, everybody's heralding the age of the dad bod.
Yeah.
I can assure you, most women don't want a beer gut. They don't want, they don't want a doughy dude. That was just funny.
Plead the fifth. I know women who do. I don't know. I know girls who are like
They were influenced.
they were brainwashed by those tweeters.
I would say a trend probably breaks outside the internet aspect of the meme, where the meme
A trend goes away in 5 minutes in a
well, a trend doesn't necessarily have to be a humorous thing, whereas you could have trends in car body styles or
dad
whatever
body styles.
dad bod styles. That's it.
Yeah.
Man, I missed the joke there completely. Darn it. Yeah, so you can have trends that way, but they don't have to be humorous. Whereas the meme, I believe, I feel like it does.
Yeah, I was just curious because like everything we can refer to as a meme.
There's a new one that I don't understand, and Winston, you're gonna have to back me up on this. It's
trend alert.
Again,
Meme alert.
The meme I feel is like the package that can then be either wrapped in or wrapped around other stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Akira
The what?
meme? Akira?
Akira. Yeah. Yes, I
Where
have.
he just goes, "Leave me alone," and it
Yeah.
flashes to something.
Leave me alone!
That's the new one that I've seen
It's
just
so
this weekend.
funny.
And there's
It's-
things it flashes to, like a $20 bill. And I'm going, I don't understand. I went to the comments and I go, I still don't know what I'm looking
Oh,
at.
you haven't? Wait, you don't get that one?
No,
Oh,
please explain.
Okay, this is so funny. I just had this conversation. It was a follow-up conversation to like how in the last episode we talked about like, oh, would you rather do this or like how much would it take type of thing. You're willing to do some questionable stuff for $20. So then that is incorporated into the meme that Tony was talking about. It's from it's Akira. It's a super old anime from I think the 90s or even 80s. I don't remember.
It's an 80s anime.
Yeah, it's so there's a scene where he's like walking outside and he was getting like head flashes and he getting like some type of like migraine. He was talking to himself. He's like, "Leave me alone." And then you'll hear like a super girly voice and it was like, "Akira, Akira, Akira." And it's just like flashing white screen. Oh man, that's why Tony didn't get it either.
I missed the $20
yeah.
meme, so then I missed the
There you go.
wrappings of this. Yes.
Isn't that
But-
what the kid? That's meta, right? When it's like 10 layers
Mhm.
deep.
Yeah, it's super meta. But
But I've seen it's the format thing, because I've seen the same thing with his flashbacks just as a green screen, so you can put whatever you want in there.
right,
So
There you go. So that would be a meme, right? Because you can all the variations.
yeah. That's the big one right now, and I love that meme so much. It's hilarious.
this has been Meme Update with Winston. Thank you. Thank
No
you.
kidding.
No, seriously.
Thanks for
I sh-
tuning in for Meme Update.
I should do a weekly meme update every time we record an episode.
I wonder if there is a podcast dedicated to like the latest memes.
in
I mean,
today's meme.
Yeah, today in meme news. Yeah. Real quick before we get off the subject,
Mhm.
the other weekend, my daughter referenced a Rickroll when that song first came out on the radio, non-ironically, not, like fully like this is, and Rick Astley with Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah.
And, the whole big thing was like, oh, this is a ginger from England. We thought this was, that's what Blue-Eyed Soul.
He's British.
Yeah.
What?
Rick Astley? Yeah. You didn't
Yeah.
know that?
Not
I
even-
swore that was an American man. Oh
Uh,
my god. That's insane.
well,
Sorry.
there we go. So that's the breaking news. That's the takeaway from this, huh? No,
Yeah.
she referenced a Rickroll, which so I heard Rick Astley on the radio.
Mhm.
And I guess we can thank the fellas of 4chan for coming up with the Rickroll. And then, it turned into anything. It happened to be because we were at graduation, and a couple kids at graduation had QR codes on their caps. Right. And one of her friends had a QR code, and I'm like, what was it? And she told me, and she's like, he totally missed an opportunity to like Rickroll anybody that scammed his cap.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
And then I'm like realizing like she's saying Rickroll, and we have grandparents there, and I'm like, they have no idea what she's talking about, right? So Rickroll, I guess, starts with me and then carries on, right? So Rick Astley, that song was on the radio and people loved it.
Yeah,
it was everywhere. Nobody listened to it unironically. It was,
pop song, #1 song in the country the week I was born.
Really?
Never Gonna Give You Up.
What year?
1988.
There you go. And now here we are this many years later, and I can say Rickroll and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Well, most people know what I'm talking about.
It's weird because there's a small gap where like there's people that knows it, and then you get a little too far and they're like, I have no idea what that is.
Apparently jumping the shark is one of those things, huh?
Exactly. I'm like 90% sure if you ask a kid that was born in 2012, a 10-year-old right now, if they know what Rickrolling is, they're not going to know what it is.
Oh, really?
100%.
Oh, see, I figured it would filter down.
It wouldn't. That's the thing. It only existed between Tony's age and then down to me and a few years after me. Anything after that, I think it started like going away because Rickrolling only existed for like a short period of time on the internet. They still do it now, but it's mostly Reddit, and it's millennial that occupy Reddit. So it's like, but yeah. All right.
Wow. Okay. That's it. Well, the Rickroll's going to die.
Well, if it's gone, could you see this because there are now children on the internet that don't know what it is? Could you see something like that making a comeback? And I don't know that we've ever seen a meme roll back around, really.
You got classic rock stations, you got classic meme stations, huh?
I can tell you right now, it already did, but it's not Never Gonna Give You Up. It's the opening cutscene of Skyrim where you're gonna click on a link, it's gonna open, and it's gonna be the cutscene at the beginning of Skyrim that plays. Like, you're finally awake.
What is Skyrim? I don't know what Skyrim is.
Skyrim was an RPG game by Bethesda.
Yeah.
That the opening was your character opening their eyes. So you could move from anything that fades to black or cuts to black and go right into that cutscene.
Yeah.
That was the newer updated version. But because people don't know the Rick Astley song, do you see that specific one making a comeback?
Probably not.
Anything old that would come back that is already past its prime.
Probably not. Like, realistically speaking, probably not. Because
what are you talking about? You know who Tears for Fears are because of TikTok.
Yes.
Tears for Fears from the 80s. Rick Astley's from the 80s.
The song, but I'm talking about the trend of Rickroll.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Classic memes.
Yeah, classic memes. 100% Rickroll is not making a comeback. And I'll tell you why. Because it's not going to spread anymore. Because people my age aren't Rickrolling anyone.
They're no longer amused.
Exactly.
They've been Rickrolled too many times.
So the people that are younger than us is not going to get Rickrolled by us. So the amount of Rickrolling is going to go down.
Do we need to do a quick explainer about a Rickroll? What that is? Is there anybody listening?
I feel like
in Nigeria know what a Rickroll is?
What about the folks in Idaho? Enough Rickrolls. Unless we're catering our podcast to like 12-year-old, I'm more than likely sure they know what Rickrolling is.
Anything you click on the internet that looks like a link to somewhere and takes you instead to the video of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, that's a Rickroll.
Okay.
Done.
Thank you.
Right,
I want to make sure I don't want to alienate anybody.
That's a good idea.
Right.
But with that, thanks for listening. We promise not to have any of our links Rickroll you. I also promise that we can't hold to that promise. Yeah. Otherwise, hey, wherever you're listening, rate us, subscribe, leave a comment.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. That's huge. If you're enjoying, please tell other people that might enjoy. We like that you're listening, but we'd like if other people listen too.
Otherwise, we're screaming into the void. That's why.
We are, man. We're Facebook status posting.
If you're not the void, please tell a friend. If you want to email us and give suggestions about what you want to hear us talk about, send us an email. We got an email at podcastxyz, that's xwhyz @gmail.com. Also, you can visit on Instagram at podcastxyz and our website podcastxyz.podbean.com. If you're looking for us anywhere, make sure you spell all that out, XWHY. That should help you find us. Otherwise, again, thank you for listening, and we will see everybody back in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Good night, Nigeria.